welcome to a new episode of Football and F1 Show. Um, and I'm only going to talk about the Community Shield game between Crystal Palace and Liverpool. There's not really much transfer news to talk about because there's not much happened. Yesterday, there was a game, a football game. So let's get started talking about the Community Shield game between Crystal Palace and Liverpool and the 2-2 draw. But Crystal Palace it went to penalties and Crystal Palace win on penalties and Crystal Palace another trophy. That's two trophies they won in 2025. I know you might not kind of include the Community Shield, but it's still a trophy at the end of the day, and they've won two trophies. So congratulations to Crystal Palace for another great surprise they produced. And congratulations to all the fans, the players of Crystal Palace, and to Glasner for winning another trophy. Um, but going into the game, I think Liverpool started quite well. But by the way, before that, there was a minute of silence for Diego Jota because of the passing of Diego Jota and the passing of Andre Silva, and those fans from Crystal Palace who booed him, who booed and interrupted the minute silence, and who booed as well, should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. Listen, Crystal Palace fans, a lot of them are fantastic fans. As a fan base in general, they are fantastic. But those ones who booed or interrupted the silence, they should be ashamed of themselves. Um, but yeah, and then onto the game, Liverpool got a good lead, scoring. Ekitike scored, make 1-0 for Liverpool, assist by Florian Wirtz. Crystal Palace, however, responded with the penalty, winning the penalty and scoring from Mateta to make it 1-1, and it was a penalty. But then Liverpool scored the second goal. Frimpong scoring in the 20th minute and 20th second, which is obviously the same number of Diego Jota. God rest his soul, and so yeah, it's kind of poetic justice. And for sure, him watching from upstairs, he would be proud. He would have been proud for sure that Liverpool scored the 20th minute and 20 seconds. But yeah, quality finish from Frimpong. Actually, all the players from Liverpool in their debut actually did really well. Florian Wirtz did really well. Frimpong did very well. Ekiteke did very, very well. And but then second, the first half, with Liverpool winning 2-1, and Liverpool were doing quite good. But in the second half, I have to say they got absolutely tore apart by Crystal Palace. You can criticize Liverpool in the second half because they made lots of mistakes, but you also have to give credit to Crystal Palace for forcing those mistakes and really pressured a lot Liverpool. They really pressured them a lot. They forced them into mistakes, and they played really good. Crystal Palace. They deserve to win in that second half. They played really well, scoring the second goal, and they were the better team by far in the second half. They played really, really well. They should have won a penalty towards the end, but due to a handball from Alexis McAllister. But this is the level of English refereeing again that will never change. They're very good at it. They never change. They never change. They're stubborn. They do what they always do. So, I mean, how can you not give that as a penalty? I really don't understand. It's such a stonewall penalty, and you don't give that. Like, I really don't get it. But and that could have cost Crystal Palace winning the Community Shield, because if let's be honest, if Crystal Palace lost on penalties, I'm pretty sure all the Crystal Palace fans and the players and Glasner would be all fuming and mentioning that situation. Um, but because they won, it can be forgiven. But still, again, like should be a penalty, but again, get ready for more shocking refereeing decisions this season. Get ready because every year, every single year, every single season, season by season, year by year, the level of refereeing in the Premier League will get worse and worse and worse and worse. And this season will for sure get worse and worse and worse. You're going to see more, terrible decisions because those referees don't learn. They don't learn. They don't learn from the mistakes. They don't learn. They don't think like, oh, now we're not doing a good job here. Let's try to do the best next time. They don't learn mistakes. They're just like, yeah, let's referee a game and then we go collect some money and we go home. That's what they care about. So I think the FIA should get referees who are properly trained and who used to play football, and get referees who used to play football as well. Why can't you get ex-football players as referees? So I think the FA need to get proper good referees, not referees who are just incompetent. Um, but yeah, Crystal Palace played amazingly well in the second half, and they should have deserved to win. I went to penalties, and after it was kind of 50-50 because Crystal Palace missed one with no, it was not 50-50. Crystal Palace were better. Sorry, Crystal Palace were better. However, they missed a penalty where he should have scored, where Alisson made a save, but that was not a good penalty. But some of the penalties that Liverpool took, likes of Elliott, McAllister, Salah, a lot of them were very, very poor penalties. By the way, Salah, very bad penalty. I thought he had a quite disappointing game, Salah. And you had to say, Salah's a fantastic player. He's a quality top player, but his record in finals is not that great. Um, he scored. Well, I think he scored only one goal in finals in his whole career, and that was Tottenham Champions League final a couple of years ago. Like he's not that great in finals, so I find it strange because I always thought Salah is a kind of a big player, a big game player, and always steps up against the big teams, and for him to not score that many goals in finals is quite disappointing for a player like him. So yeah, but yeah, it was not a great performance at all for him. Again in the final from Mohamed Salah. But to be honest, it's not a major honour competition final. With all due respect to Community Shield, so but it was not a good performance from Salah at all. Missed a poor penalty, not a great performance at all from him. And Liverpool, but you still have to give credit to Crystal Palace. They deserve to win. First half they were kind of on the back foot, being behind twice, but they came back in the second half, played fantastically well, and should have won. Went to penalties. They were better on penalties and deserved to win. And Dean Henderson, he made some fantastic saves. He was wearing a cap like me, wearing a cap again like he did against Manchester City in the final. And he had a fantastic performance. Yeah, you could say in the FA Cup final maybe he should have been sent off, but he had two brilliant performances again against City. Made some brilliant saves, saving the penalty. And this game he saved two, from McAllister and from Elliott, and you could see in his drink shoes that he was writing. That he was given notes by one of his coaching staffs, that he was giving the notes of the Liverpool players where they should left or right or etc. So he was giving everything, and he maximized of it fantastically well. Made some fantastic saves, and he was again the hero for Crystal Palace. So well done to him. And again, he delivered for Crystal Palace again. And Crystal Palace showed, fighting spirit. Despite all the off-field frustrations that they've suffered. Being demoted to the Europa Conference League, etc. The cast hearing will be today, Um, but at the same time, they showed some great character and they deserve to win in this game. That's for sure. So congratulations to Crystal Palace and Glasner. Crystal Palace haven't signed many players this transfer window. However, they managed to keep some important players like Eze, Mark Gui. As much as maybe you want to criticize Crystal Palace for not signing many players, but they're able to keep some good players like Mateta, Magui, etc. So because I expected like if Aprecia Eze to leave and Mateta to leave, but Crystal Palace have done really well to keep them. Um, so yeah, and not only that, because obviously because Crystal Palace won the FA Cup, the interest of Eze and Mateta will get higher. So well done to Crystal Palace for keeping them right now. Um, but yeah, like Glasner has done a very very good job winning the FA Cup, winning the Community Shield, and he's a very good manager in general. Like he won the Europa League with Frankfurt, so yeah, he delivered another great performance in the final and winning another trophy. For Liverpool, yeah, they need to improve because I felt like in the first half they were winning, but it was not like dominant performance from them. But in the second half, they got torn apart in my opinion. So I think they need to improve defensively. They need to improve as well because they conceded many chances, and yeah, like I think defensively they need to improve because they were clearly not good enough. Going forward, yeah, they've shown some great signs. They could score goals and they can destroy teams in the attack, kill teams, but defensively they need to do better. Um, so yeah, and Van Dijk said that they need to sign a striker, and of course, because Darwin Núñez left now, there is one guy who could come to Liverpool and who's a striker, and that's Isak. So it would absolutely for sure help Liverpool in the attack. But not, scoring goals. Not only Liverpool need to be good in the attack, but also they need to be good defensively. Because in this game, defensively they were not there. They were not good enough at all. So yeah, but it's the first game. It's the first proper game. It's like a pre-season game. Yeah, it's still a chance to win a trophy, to boost your confidence, to boost your, give a team a lift ahead of the start of the season. But it's not at the end of the world from Liverpool. They still have the Premier League season to start. They're still the reigning champions. So in the Premier League, so they're still the team to beat. So yeah, but they need to improve. They need to improve because they didn't play well in this game in the second half particularly. So and they deserve to lose. Even Arsenal said in press conference they were lucky to go to penalties. So yeah, but you can't take away from Crystal Palace because they did perform really really well. So well done to Crystal Palace, and hard luck to Liverpool. So yeah, that's it, guys. I wish you have a nice day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.